Jill Wells, and I am an artist, an advocate, and a mentor. I work across multiple disciplines and multiple mediums. I primarily specialize in large-scale works. I do a lot of work on braille, paper. Oils are probably my first love when it comes to paint. And I work with fiber, I work with sound, I work with light, I work with a lot of faux foliage. So I work in materials that help me convey and tell the story and seem to be the right fit. As an Iowa-based artist, I've had the privilege to travel outside of my home state, and I've worked in Ireland, I've worked in Vienna, I've spoke on panel at the United Nations, advocating for inclusive street arts, working with folks from all over in different sectors, and having conversations about how art is really important when we think about civic engagement, how art can be the catalyst for change when it comes to legislative power. So being able to travel has helped me collaborate on a scale that I wouldn't have thought of as an artist, and I wasn't classically trained to kind of think about collaboration in that way. However, I've come to understand that that is actually how art operates. It's not a siloed thing. Art operates, again, across sectors. And I think that the opportunities to travel can happen in a digital platform as well, which is kind of the day and age that we are living in. So I've been able to do that as well. I've been able to work with people, I guess like hybrid style, so virtually. And that's been a really interesting experience and a very rewarding one also. As an advocate, I really enjoy opportunities to have conversations that address cross-sectional identities. So when we think about who we are as a people, we're not any one thing. We are more than one thing as any one person is. And oftentimes I think there's these things about us that rightfully so we keep private and are sacred. And then there's some things that are very maybe visible. And then there's things that we decide that we want to disclose and talk about. And I think that's also very powerful when we think about how art can help us open up conversations that are difficult conversations to have. When we talk about identity, those can be very, personal things, And so for me in my life, art was always a safe place that helped me actually be able to have the language to express who I was fully as a person, and kind of divulge things about myself and about the folks in my world that people wouldn't think of right away. And so it's been the door opener. Art has always allowed me to have those really uncomfortable conversations because from a visual standpoint, first and foremost, it can be the thing that actually starts the conversation. Where words often fail us, oftentimes the image is the thing that becomes, again, the language. So when I think about my work within the disability community, when I think about my work that talks about all the parts of who I am as a person and the folks that I work with, art is the thing that helps me, I guess, normalize those things that sometimes in our community are not normalized as they should be. When Iowa Juneteenth reached out to me and started a conversation about art in our community, about working with artists within the BIPOC community, when we think about artists, Black, Indigenous folks of color, oftentimes those individuals are marginalized within certain arts and culture sectors. So I really embraced the opportunity to collaborate with Iowa Juneteenth. And when I was thinking about who those individuals are in my life, I found a common thread that almost all of those creatives were working to address change within their practices. And what they're addressing is very different. It's unique into their own personal lived experiences. And I was inspired, and so I thought about, well, how can we encapsulate that as a pop-up and connecting with our community? So I thought, well, we're all working towards change, and we're creating this experience where we're kind of curating for folks an experience to come into our worlds. So I thought Curating Change was a really good title. The artists for the Curating Change for Iowa Juneteenth on the 15th of June are artists I've all worked with before in the past in some capacity. And so that was the first thing I thought. I was like, well, maybe they won't tell me no because they know me. So, but in all seriousness, I really thought that it would be an amazing collaboration of all of their works together in one place, and that our community would have a important, impactful experience because those sets of works have come together in this space. So June 15th, we are curating change at the John and Mary Papa John Education Center as part of Neighbors Week, and we are here celebrating Iowa Juneteenth. We are celebrating our ancestors. We are using our art to curate change. Please come and join us the 15th of June.